Dr. Siddhartha Mukherjee is the author of Pulitzer Prize winner The Emperor of All Maladies. This book explores the history of cancer and dives deep into the scientific achievements and shortcomings of the Great War Against Cancer. You can follow the link at the end of the video to view information on the PBS documentary series inspired by the book The Emperor of All Maladies.
Some of the most important discoveries regarding cancer were made before the year zero. An ancient Egyptian papyrus chronicled the details of an uncurable disease now known to us as cancer. Greek medical pioneer Hippocrates invented the word cancer in the 4th century BC to describe a non-ulcer-forming tumor. It is important that we understand cancer has been around since before people started recording history.
Galen's theory of the humors persisted for many centuries. In 1533, Andreas Vesalius began an enormous project of mapping the entire human body. Through his meticulous dissections of cadavers, he could not find Galen's supposed black bile thought to be the source of cancer. Galen's theory began to vanish, and although we had more understanding of the human body, treatments for cancer were very experimental, unregulated, and dangerous. Early treatment often included extreme surgery, such as radical mastectomy, established by William Halsted, which involved removing not only the tumor, but the breast, pectoralis muscles, collarbones, and any other part that could potentially be removed. This type of radical surgery was extended to many other types of cancer and was the standard of care for many years. Surgeons who did not remove as much as possible were harshly judged.
As time goes on, surgeries became increasingly more radical with the goal of eliminating any trace of cancer from the body, often leaving patients disfigured. Progress even further, chemotherapy is now a regular treatment for cancer. Physicians and scientists now have an entirely new arsenal of drugs and combinations of drugs to try. During this time, screening and prevention methods were implemented as a way to stop cancer in its tracks before it began. Innovations such as the primary prevention measure of the HPV vaccine, the secondary prevention of receiving annual pap smears, and tertiary prevention of a mastectomy were all trademark advancements of the 20th century.
This book takes a look into prevention rather than treatment, because cancer spreads so rapidly and unpredictable that treating it is a great challenge. Since the beginning of the 21st century, several scientists have found ways to spot common growth paths of some cancers, and since the completion of the Human Genome Project in 2003, doctors have a database to refer to increase their knowledge of genes that mutate into cancer cells. Since there is still no definite way to prevent cancer, we have to take a look at ways to treat it. Every cancer has a unique treatment option, but the most common approaches that are used in today's medicine are chemotherapy, radiation, tumor removal surgery, and in some cases hormonal therapy. Although to this day there is no cure to cancer, we are still in hopes that with the increasing trends in technology, especially in medicine, researchers and scientists are able to find a way to stop this terrible disease dead in its tracks.
The success of modern-day cancer treatment and further research would be largely subdued without technological advancements. Examining how the development of cancer treatment has changed just over the past decade speaks highly to this. For example, gene therapy is currently being researched as means of cancer treatment, as opposed to invasive surgeries that have the chance of leaving the patient debilitated, or chemotherapies of which the side effects potentially cause severe adverse reactions among patients undergoing treatment. The concepts within The Emperor of All Maladies are easily paralleled to what we have learned this semester. This book covers major epidemiologic advancements that allowed oncologists and researchers to understand the etiology of certain strains of cancer, providing framework of development of effective primary and secondary prevention practices.
In conclusion, we would like to thank our author, Siddhartha Mukherjee, as well as the following resources for providing educational and visual sources for our presentation.